I don't think you're going to see another Nick stream for like another couple of weeks. He did one stream in the last 3 weeks, I think. I think that since it's been a bad result, every time something bad happens, he's getting less and less motivation to stream. It's very sad. But hopefully, you know, better days are on the horizon. If he can finally accept a plea, accept the guilty verdict, and move on and start rebuilding his life. Where to begin today? Where to begin today? All other omnibus issues are not argued with peculiarity, are otherwise specifically identified to the court as a contested issue at the omnibus hearing, whether included in the written notice or not, are denied, having been waived by the defendant. What does this mean? Are denied. Denied. This is a pretty, oh boy, this is a bad little line. What this means is that there were some additional issues during the omnibusin that Nick wanted to bring up, but he wanted to have the Franks hearing first, and everyone kind of expected there'd be a second omnibus where he could go through and you know, raise these ridiculous claims again. Unfortunately, because he dropped the old Recator special, which is filing the documents the last possible minute to try and run out the clock, because he tried to do that, the judge was like, you know what? No more omnibuses. We're going straight to trial. So what's going to happen next? Next is going to be the hearing. Well, there's going to be the, I guess, just the logistics hearing, where they'll be like, can you come to court this day? No, I can't. Yes, I can. That's what's going to happen next. And then it's trial time, baby. It's court time, baby. Unless Nick does take a plea deal, which I think is what's going to happen. I'm honestly expecting a plea deal to be accepted within the next 30 days, but who knows? Maybe they'll wait until Kayla's omnibus hearing. Who can say? Who can say? But it's not looking good. You tried to play silly buggers with the judge, and they were like, you know what? No, you don't get to extend it another 30 days with another ridiculous hearing where you bring up watermarks or COG or British people. Well, I guess that's the same person. But no, it's over. It's over, chat. It's done. It's done. But you could see, scheduled for September 21st. Holy hell. The news is a disaster. Life is a disaster. Let's jump into these stories. I have a big personal announcement. La-dee-da. So what was the big announcement? You might be asking. Big announcement. Oh, is it the 5K locals gift? Is Nick starting a comic book? Is it going to be a return to consistent streaming? No, the big announcement was that he completed his court-mandated, not really mandated, but his court-requested rehab. He said rehab was for losers. Rehab is for people that are admitting to mistakes. All the while, he was saying this. He was attending rehab meetings by his own volition, apparently, for 90 days to prove that he could be 90 days sober. But he passed it. And now, in the government's eyes, he's officially no longer an addict. So they thought he was before. And basically, the gist of this stream was he talked about how hard it is not to rope himself every day, which is very depressing. It's getting a bit dark over there. I mean, it is nighttime, I suppose, and I hate nighttime. But yeah, it was pretty bleak. It was pretty bleak. But he goes in and talks about how he's better than all the other drug addicts. He's like, well, there's guys in here that are smoking meth every day. I'm not like these losers. I'm like, okay. But there was a few little fun details in this. Of course, we've got to notice the lawyer spelling, which of course is a very common little point of humorous attention. We have this one. This one was pretty good. Adverts. What is this? Something is sitting bing. I don't know. It doesn't look good. I don't know what's going on here. And we had this one, of course, the Perisnal results. I don't know. I thought he was drunk. When I read the description for this video. I thought he was like loaded. He seemed to be sober in the video. He has a bit of a joke. He has a bit of a giggle, saying that like, well, he's drug free in the eyes of the government, so now he's going to have a Coke, and he opens up like obviously a can of Coke. But I wonder now if he's allowed to drink and do whatever he wants again. Now that he's got the kids back and he's not an addict in the eyes of the government, I wonder if he's free from that pesky random testing. Because if you remember, he took the unconditional so that he could drink and do whatever he wanted anytime he wanted. But then the court case, the kids case, they said, no, you can't do that if you want to have your kids back. So this is quite interesting because Nick actually has the trifecta. He has a criminal proceeding for the drugs and the guns. He has a civil proceeding for the Montegraph case, which there's actually some developments in that as well as April's case as well. We'll probably go into that at the end of the stream. But then he also has the family court. Like there is no court that this man is not in. Like people used to make fun of Nick. They used to say, well, Nick is never in court for anything. Well, now he's in every court. Checkmate, A-logs. He's everywhere. Plea out before the trial? I think it's got to be this. He's got to plea out. There's nothing he can do now. He pleas out. Hopefully he gets the body cam sealed, and then he can just admit that he can just say to his audience, you know what? I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but the government had me under their shoe. And what's more important, making a stand or having your kids back? That's the only logical way forward, I think, for Nick, where he can try and remain a shred of his audience. But he could also double down. He could also double down and take it to trial. But if he takes it to trial, the body cam footage then becomes evidence, and that moves it from confidential to public. So if he wants to fight this, if he wants to stick it to the government, we get to see the body cam, which I'm sure he doesn't want to see, doesn't want people to see. Francis Wyatt, if you're unaware, there's a very funny little detail about Francis Wyatt. He's basically the Barnes Walker. That's what they call him. He is a fan of Nick's, and he was a fan of both Barnes and of Nick in the locals communities before this all started. And just so happened that when Nick's situation shit hit the fan, Francis Wyatt was there to say, yes, Nick, I trust your opinions. When every other lawyer that was giving good advice, Nick fired. Francis Wyatt, attorney at law. Now, the Franks hearing was basically the one hope that he had to get away with murder, basically. This was like the Hail Mary. You throw this out, you say that the warrant is bad, you say, look, it was a conspiracy, my constitution, me Barnes. Listen to, did you don't watch Barnes's YouTube channel, lawyer? Like, I should be free because this is unconstitutional. The idea being that because Detective Pomplom was watching Cog's channel, that means he could not see the real, true and honest version of what happened on that stream, and therefore he could not in his right mind have had that search warrant issued. And if the search warrant isn't good, then everything they find is illegal. Well, it shouldn't be included. Not necessarily illegal, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But no, he does not get the Franks hearing. A bit of a spoiler alert coming up in this. See, this is the real thing that killed Nick's case here. He submitted his own video into evidence, and the judge saw it and was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's got to get the death penalty. Exhibit 3, supplemental report, and Exhibit 4, Ricada.png. That's a bit funny, actually. I think I've got a few Ricada PMGs of myself on my own computer. Exhibit 5, a letter from Candy Ojai Child Protective Services, I believe. Defendant offered and the state objected to Exhibit 6, recording of the Steel Toe morning show. Even the state objects to watching the toe. So, unironically, like another win for the toe has been memed into reality because Aaron can't stop winning. I mean, even though he did get the charge of revenge pornography brought against him. He argued it down to a misdemeanor, and now he's going to be, I guess, sentenced in December. But basically, he's got free.